Chancellor McCormick began his service to Minnesota in 2001 as the leader of the MnSCU system of 32 higher education institutions statewide. He has given us a decade of strong, visionary guidance to bring those vitally important institutions together as one system. We thank him for his outstanding service to Minnesota. Chancellor McCormick. Three other very distinguished educators are with us today. F.A. Abamu is Minnesota's Secondary School Principal of the Year. Dr. Abamu is currently principal at Park High School in Cottage Grove, where she instituted an international baccalaureate program. She is recognized for her, quote, ability to achieve academic and community goals, for improving teaching and learning, and encouraging a positive school environment for staff and students. James Zanju is the principal at Rochester's Lincoln K-8 Choice School and is Minnesota's Elementary School Science and Mathematics Principal of the Year. He was selected for his work integrating cutting-edge science throughout the curriculum and revolutionizing the way his school teaches science. Ryan Vernash is Minnesota's Teacher of the Year. He is a sixth grade teacher at Maxfield Magnet School in St. Paul, where he has taught since 2006. He says the two biggest issues facing education are the achievement gaps and social justice. Quote, these gaps are unacceptable and are my driving force as I prepare to teach every day. I salute these 5 great Minnesotans and all of our state's outstanding educators. They know, as I do, that better education is key to a better Minnesota. It is why I was so pleased to reaffirm last week my promise to increase state funding for public K-12 education every year I'm governor, with no excuses and no exceptions. Our children's futures are in our hands. Their futures are our responsibility. I ask the legislature to follow my lead and increase state funding for K-12 education. That doesn't mean more money to maintain the status quo. To the contrary, every additional dollar we spend on education should be directed toward improving the quality of that education, starting with the experiences we provide our state's children in the very first months and years of their lives. I have been greatly impressed with the careful thought being devoted by many dedicated adults to the best use of our resources for early childhood education. That is why I will reestablish the Governor's Council on Early Childhood Education and the Children's Cabinet, both to be led by Education Commissioner Brenda Cassellius. This is a terrific opportunity for continued public-private partnerships involving business leaders, foundation executives, parents, educators, and everyone else who cares about our children and their success. Then we need to commit more state money to providing all parents with the option of affordable all-day kindergarten for their children. How can states like Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi fund all-day kindergarten, while we in Minnesota do not? Despite our deficit, my budget will propose increased funding to expand the number of children who can receive all-day kindergarten in Minnesota. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. I asked the legislature to help me find the additional money as soon as possible to make all-day kindergarten an option for every child in Minnesota. In our shared desire to improve our elementary and secondary schools, our colleges and universities, I urge all of us to work together instead of against one another. For too long, teachers and educators have been battered by continuing criticisms of their commitment, their ability, and their effectiveness. For too long, words like accountability, responsibility, and acceptable progress have been used to imply that there is none. To say that is untrue does not mean we are satisfied with every aspect of our educational services today. It means that we are going to take a different approach to making them better. We're going to listen to one another's concerns. We're going to work cooperatively and constructively. And we are going to enlist the best ideas from the real experts, the parents, teachers, principals, and superintendents who are most in touch every day with our students and their needs. As someone said, all the reform we could possibly use is available to us right now in those schools, colleges, and universities which are educating our students most successfully. We need to identify those successes, share their strategies, and both encourage and require their use elsewhere throughout our state. I again ask every business in Minnesota to adopt a school, college, or university, to become actively involved in making them better. They will benefit from you, and you will learn from them. Another crucial area of investment is in transportation. Minnesota suffers today from the failed legacy of 20 years of declining investments in our highways, roads, and bridges, in our public transit systems, and in other critical infrastructure. Our decline has been worse than most other states, which means we are falling farther behind in what I consider one of the most important business climate measures, the quality and capacity of our transportation systems and infrastructure. It doesn't have to be that way. Look at our Metropolitan International Airport, where new investments have been made continuously during those same 20 years. It's not perfect, but it's remarkable. Virtually an entire new airport has been constructed while continuing to operate the old one. It is rated one of the best managed airports in the country and even in the world. Or consider the recently completed Highway 62 interchange, also built while remaining open for traffic. It's not perfect, yet it's a big improvement, and it provides better public transit as well. The notion we don't know how to invest in critical infrastructure improvements or to implement those projects efficiently is foolish. What's even more foolish, however, is our failure to make the necessary investments in them. The results are deteriorating highways throughout greater Minnesota and worsening congestion in our metro systems. Roads, highways, and public transit are to our state's economy as our arteries to the human body. If the arteries are healthy and efficiently transport blood, oxygen, and nutrients throughout the body, everything works at its best. If, however, the arteries become decrepit or clogged, the body's performance suffers. Minnesota is at a critical juncture with its transportation systems. Our investments are inadequate to maintain their condition or to expand them to serve our growing population. Their further deterioration will seriously constrict our future economic growth and damage our social vitality. That is why I've asked Transportation Commissioner Tom Sorrell to present to the legislature his ideas for better roads, highways, and transit systems, and to begin the discussion of how best to finance them. I invite others with transportation and finance expertise in both the private and public sectors to join us in that discussion. I ask the legislature to consider creating a transportation finance authority chaired by the MnDOT commissioner to bring together the best minds and their ideas for financing the transportation improvements upon which our future social and economic vitality depend. Third, we have to invest in the health, safety, and well-being of our citizens, our communities, and our environment. Fortunately for all of us, there are so many Minnesotans who go to work every day to make our lives better. I especially want to honor today the men and women who risk their lives to keep our lives safe. Colonel Eric Kurska is the commander of Minnesota National Guard's 1st Brigade Combat Team, 34th Infantry Division, the Red Bulls. He will lead 2,400 citizen soldiers of the brigade when they deploy in May to support for 1 year Operation New Dawn, the drawdown phase of U.S. military operations in Iraq. Colonel Kurska has been a National Guardsman for over 21 years and a soldier for over 27 years. In his civilian career, he is a battalion chief for the Rochester Fire Department, a job that he will put on hold while he serves his 3rd tour of duty. He is joined today by his wife, Tina, who is equally a Minnesota hero for her sacrifice in giving up her husband for the next year to protect our country, Colonel Eric and Tina Kurska. With us also are a family of Minnesota heroes. First Sergeant Gary Wenzel, his wife Kathy, and their 18-year-old son, Private First Class Todd Wenzel. First Sergeant Wenzel has been deployed twice. During his 18-month tour in Iraq in 2004-2005, his wife Kathy founded Project Backpack for military sons and daughters, and another organization, Minnesota Veteran Family Support, providing families with services before, during, and after their military deployment. Today, the Wenzel's oldest son, Andrew, is on his way to Afghanistan, and Todd will be deploying with the 1st Brigade Combat Team later this spring. Please join with me in paying tribute to this exceptional Minnesota family, First Sergeant Gary, Kathy, and Private Todd Wenzel. Colonel Kurska and Private Wenzel, please extend to all of the 2,400 men and women in your Red Bull unit our deepest gratitude for their heroic service to our state and nation, and our heartfelt prayers for all of your safe return. Closer to home, we are protected by the courageous women and men who wear the uniforms of law enforcement officers throughout our state. We are honored today by the presence of the Police Officer of the Year, Adam Bailey. Officer Bailey has been with the St. Paul Police for 6 years. Previously, he served with the St. Louis Park Police. He was named the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association's Police Officer of the Year for his outstanding service. Officer Bailey has also been awarded the City of St. Paul's highest honor, the Medal of Valor, for his extraordinary heroism in the line of duty. Officer Adam Bailey, we salute you. Thank you.